curtains that separates, and provides privacy for each bed and resident. And each of our rooms has a bathroom. So if you're in a semi-private room, you're sharing a bathroom with your roommate. And we have about 20 private rooms throughout the facility, which of course in this day and age are highly sought after. So resident rooms have hospital beds that electronically lower, raise the head, raise the feet, bedside tables, over bed tables. And then on top of that, we work with families to try to decorate rooms just as the resident wants, because at the end of the day, this is their home. So we try to make it as home-like as possible. So most residents have pictures of their family, their kids, spouses. We try to help families decorate for the holiday season. So we just had a bunch of St. Patrick's Day items decorated in the rooms and on their doors. And then each unit has a shower room, which is a 300 square foot room with a bath and shower. So most of our residents need assistance getting baths or showers. So we have those rooms on each unit, and the certified nursing assistants have assignments so many days a week to take specific residents and make sure they're given their bath or shower. So as you walk through the units, we also have a nurse's station on each unit. So that's where we house medical records, our computers for electronic charting. Each station has a couple of medication carts. So there are these big, bulky carts that have each resident's room number listed in a drawer for that specific room number and bed number. And that has all of the residents' medications that they receive. And then narcotics are locked on that medication cart in a separate compartment. So it's 2 keys to get into that. Additionally, we have various dining rooms. We have 3 dining rooms throughout the facility. We encourage residents to get up. Dining is a social activity, so it helps residents' psychosocial health. However, right now with COVID-19, we're practicing social distancing, so that has been a little bit harder. And I failed to mention, we also have social workers in the facility, licensed social workers. So those employees help with discharge planning, psychosocial health of residents, ancillary services, appointments, that kind of thing. In addition, we have 2 courtyards. So we try to utilize the courtyards for staff. For residents. Some residents still smoke. So we allow them to go out with staff supervision, and there's designated smoking spots in the courtyards. We have a lot of bird feeders throughout the facility. So really try to get residents, out of their rooms, up, get them engaged, get them out and about. So we've got a number of residents that go out in the spring and summer and sunbathe and just get some fresh air. So that's certainly good for them. All right, so again, to further on, I think what this class is about, we've talked a little bit about the different lines of service in post-acute care, long-term care. We talked about the facility layout. We talked about different medical disciplines that work in this skilled nursing facility. I'm going to touch next on what a day in the life of a resident looks like. And then after that, I'll talk about the bigger picture of, healthcare and how long-term care, acute care communicate. So day in the life of a resident. One second. Nursing homes are very big on person-centered care. So we try to honor residents' rights. They have the same rights as you or I out in the community, but we try to honor their wishes. So, if your grandma's in a nursing facility and she slept until 10 a.m. every day all of her life, we're not going to all of a sudden demand her to wake up at 7 a.m. just because that's the most convenient time for meal pass for the morning. So we customize each resident's care and really meet their needs and their wants. So typically, resident wakes up, will be served breakfast per their care plan at a time convenient to them. And then usually nurses do a morning pill pass. So a resident would, if they're on any specific morning medications, they would get those medications from the nurse. And again, the nurse's job is to ensure those those medications are taken, whether they're orally injected, transdermal, or what have you. So after that, different residents do different things. Some come out and socialize in the dining rooms. We usually do an activity at around 10 or 10:30. So I'm sure you all know the stereotypical nursing facility activities such as bingo. It is actually very, very enjoyed by many residents here. So we certainly do that. But we do also other activities. We do newspaper readings. We watch the news together as groups sometimes. And then we do different exercises, art classes, happy hours, just various things. So we always have at least 2 activities a day, and we try to rotate those throughout the building. We do different activities on our TBI unit. We do different activities on our memory care unit. So a resident might go participate in an activity, and then after that, between 12 and 1:30, we have lunch, and then there's an activity around 2 to 2:30, and then we have dinner between 5 and 6. And again, we encourage residents to go socialize. Besides the dining rooms I failed to mention, we have common areas, which have large flat screen TVs, seating, for residents to gather and hang out with one another. We have a lot of residents that like to sit close to the nurse's station and really interact with nursing staff. We have 170 residents, but usually any given time we have 100 staff here as well. So there's plenty of staff interaction with residents as well. So after dinner, a lot of residents have different activities they do in their room. A lot of them have different TV shows they watch, Wheel of Fortune, Price is Right. They have soap operas they watch, sewing, knitting, crosswords, jigsaw puzzles. We've really been teaching residents right now how to FaceTime and video chat with their families and try to get them using iPads and newer technologies to keep in touch with their families, because right now, just as you all are receiving this via video conference, our families of these residents are unable to come visit right now because of the COVID-19. So we're having to have them communicate via telephone or video chat. So that's the typical day in the life of a resident. It can be mundane. That's why we try to spice it up with activities. We try to get them outside, take them off-site for activities. We have different volunteer groups come in. We have clergy come in. So we have non-denominational clergy come in, and Sundays, Thursdays, Wednesdays, and different groups go down to the chapel for prayer and whatnot. So lastly, I'm sure most of you are not looking to get into long-term care. You might be interested in pediatrics, general practitioners, hospitalists, work in a hospital, what have you. Nonetheless, it's still important to understand the long-term care sector, the different lines of service within long-term care, and really what goes on at those in those different lines of service, because at the end of the day, we are in frequent communication with the hospital. So it's important that we understand each other's goals, objectives, and what staff do at each specific location. So it's important for me to understand, what registered nurses that serve as case managers do at Baptist or at Norton Hospital. it's important to understand, what a hospitalist rounding in the emergency room, what they are doing when we send a resident to the emergency room, because sometimes we have to call and communicate with those folks. So, they need to know that we strive to have low rehospitalizations. We need to know that they're not going to admit a resident for no good reason. So it helps refine systems, processes, and it helps us work in the healthcare system most efficiently and most effectively. Healthcare is very expensive. So, as stakeholders in that group, we have to do our part to work throughout it as seamlessly as possible. So that is all I have for this talk. If anyone has any questions, Dr. Scaff can share my email. Y'all are welcome to reach out once we get through this COVID-19 crisis. If anyone would like to come spend a day in a skilled nursing facility with your specific line of service, we can certainly try to make that happen. And again, I will send some pictures of the facility so you all can kind of piece together what the different areas of the facility look like, what a resident's room looks like, and go from there. There are some pictures on our website. If you Google Louisville East Post-Acute, you can see those pictures. And additionally, if you would like to help us out and send a greeting card, we've been distributing those to our residents right now as they've had less visitors. But if you go to our website, which is providencelouisville.com, and go to resources and send a greeting, and you can just type in any resident. You're not going to know the resident names. You can just type a funny story or what you learned from the speech today, or let them know that you were going to come tour one of our facilities. Anything that they would enjoy would be great. So thank you all. And again, if you all have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out.